I am ready. All right. Here we go for semifinal between the DC Diplomats and New York City. New York City, who I'm told haven't won the Nationals in a very, very long time, at least not in the last 20 years. They've had quite a few second places, but no first place. So I think this year they definitely have a really good chance at the title because they have a very, very solid team that they've been building over the last few years. So let's see how the DC Diplomats team deal with them, because they're definitely the challenger here. And yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. They have tall girls that can block, far shots, but New York definitely has the speed, the agility to be able to bring the game closer to the 6 meters. And so during the tournament, New York pretty convincingly beat all the teams in their group except Chicago, against whom they tied in the first game. And here we go. The game starts. Possession for New York. Not wasting any time and starting the fast plays. Just within the back players just to get the defense to move a little bit. Empty cross. Oh, and the wing doing the good movement there. Sorry, the pivot moving from the center all the way to the outside, creating that space for the back player to go right through the center, and a nice stem shot. And there we have it, 1-0 for New York. Ooh. Looks like a travel was called. New York moving the ball up quickly. Nice back cross. All the way to the wing. Ooh, a nice pass to the pivot, but she stepped on the line. Ooh, I would have called steps, but the refs are always right. DC definitely realizing that they're going to have to move the ball quickly if they want to stand a fighting chance in this game. And so let's see what they have to offer on set play. Ooh, number 45 going deep and drawing a yellow card from New York. Interesting, DC on the other hand have won two titles, one in 2004 and one in 2005. Great shot there. The Swedish player from New York. Go the cross, and it was a good far shot. Unfortunately, and you see the movement, the second wave, the long cross between the back players, then a shifting all the way to the side. Great pass. Okay, great pass to the pivot, but she seemed a little flustered by the defense, but apparently the refs decided it was legal. Drop ball. Oh, great move by the wing player to step in as a second pivot, drawing a 7 meter. Nice. Upper corner. Not much the goalie could do there. And there we go. DC starts the counter. Great ball movement, but great defense. Great defense by DC. Stopping the girls as soon as they hit the 9 meters. Another empty cross, but it was anticipated by the defender who kind of blocked the transition. New York resets. All the way from the wing. Ooh, who goes all the way in and scores? A little bit light of a defense there on the wing. Should not be able to walk in so easily. Each team at this point is going to pay any mistake like this. All right, DC resetting. Going pivot was blocked there. Seemed to be going for the cross between the left back and the center. Unfortunately, some miscommunication there between the wing and her back player. All right, New York, as always, moving the ball around with the back players. Some of the spectators not agreeing with the call there. All the way to the wing, and a nice shot. Right over the head. And that is 4-1 New York. And a great shot there, and another yellow card being distributed. Oh, great ball movement by DC there. Luckily, they managed to keep control of that one. That's some great defense there. I feel like DC is actually able to anticipate some of the movements from New York and cause them some troubles in the transition phase. Let's see what they can offer in offense. Oh, another. Oh, wow, and that's a goal. A great movement again by the winger who came in at the last minute to grab that ball. She wasn't able to grab it, but she still managed to push it into the goal. And now 4-3. Oh, offensive. Definitely offensive. You could see the defense player really kept her 2 feet on the ground and didn't move. The attacking player just ran right into her, and that's offensive foul. Ball back to DC with a chance to square it off. Starting to call some plays. The 2 pivots there, making a block. The second pivot moving. Again, great shot by number 75. It's really interesting how DC managed to drag all of the attention of the New York team on that left side with the 2 pivots, and then give some room for number 75 for that stem shot. Oh, good stop by the goalie there. Oh, I guess, oh, she was on the line. Oh, and a great pass by the goalie there. DC calling some plays. You see playing with 2 pivots now. Oh, no. She was trying to pretend that she was going for an offensive foul, but she was running along with the defender, was the offensive player. He gets a yellow card for that. And like DC is clearly looking to use that 2 pivot setup a lot more. Oh, yes. Fortunately, that seems to be called as a foul. Some good defense. A little bit aggressive, but yeah, arms were up in front of the player. And that's definitely what DC needs to show, is some aggressive defense if they want to have a chance to go all the way. Great ball movement all the way to the wing. And again, she finds the upper corner, kind of taunting the goalie there. And just playing with the fact that that goalie, being a little bit short, is going to have a hard time blocking that upper corner. And that's going to be another 7 meter. The defender is in the line. And DC with an opportunity to come back one behind. Oh, great block by the goalie there. Oh, that's another 7 meter, and that's probably a 2 minutes. Yes, that was a clear foul from behind, pushing the player as she was about to shoot. No discussion there. She knows what she did, and she just walks out calmly. DC switching the 7 meter shooter. I'm predicting lower left. And another save. DC definitely needs to make sure they don't get flustered by this and that they stay in the game. They need all their mental strength to be able to pull through this. Defender there a little bit late. Oh, another. That was well read, but it was a good movement from the wing player to come in as a second pivot. And now the ball moving quickly for DC all the way to the wing. And DC managed to keep control of the ball. And center player Kami Sedano is asking her team to calm down and to know when to play fast and when to slow down. Oh, that was in the line. That was clearly in the line. Yes, thank you, ref. Calling for outside pressure to be able to finish on that right wing. Yes. That was a great shot. She waited for the goalie to lift her leg and just push the ball under there. It's still a 1-goal game. It does seem like anything is possible at this point. Even though those kind of movements are scary, just to see how easily New York can have one player hit a one-on-one, create that gap, and then pass to the pivot so easily. Good transition. Oh, fortunately she lost the ball there. And that means there's probably a fast break opportunity on the other side. And it's a goal. And DC calling a timeout. Coach wanting his team to regroup and figure out what they're going to do to address this team. Definitely seems like they have options, but if DC wants to have a true and strong fighting chance in this game, they're going to have to up their defense and be a little bit more aggressive, because as soon as they let New York step into the 9, they really have a hard time stopping them, because those players are fast. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're going to be able to go one-on-one and use, I guess, their technical skills to be able to, really make that difference. So we'll see. I think DC, can still do something by moving the ball around in offense. I think they have what it takes to score, but really they're going to have to win in defense by just hitting the New York girls a little bit harder and a little bit earlier, just not letting them step into the 9. But we'll see what they can offer after this, and hopefully once they've spoken to their coach, they come back in full speed. But we'll see. New York definitely coming into the competition really confident. They won the Northeastern Championship. They also flew to my home tournament, the Cal Cup in San Francisco, California, where they won. And so, strong season for them, and I think they're most likely hoping that this year is going to be the year of the title for them. But, that starts with a win in the semifinal against this great DC team. Good movement. Fortunately, not able to get a clear shot. And New York was the ball, and putting some speed right off the bat. And this is what I was talking about. They can't allow them to step into the 9 with so much speed. It's going to be a goal every single time. And the danger is that at the same time, they cannot step so far out. Like Camille again stepping up maybe a little bit too far just before in the center, which allows the back players to have more speed. Good block defense there. New York now cutting off the right wing, having understood that she's definitely going for top scorer. They understand that the danger is stronger on the right side than on the left side, so The defender is actually stepping up a lot and really cutting off that wing. DC asking for a foul, but pretty clear it wasn't there. Ooh, and a long pass to the wing, and good anticipation there by DC. Unfortunately, no one really following up. And again to that right wing, yes. Again, lower corner, a good angle. Yeah, Cécile Balanche, probably from France. Keeping DC in the game. It's 9-6. There's still 12 minutes left in the first half, so game is definitely not over. Oh, that was some great defense. All right, DC switching on the right-hand side. We have Elizabeth Lopez stepping on the court. Yeah, Camille Serrano really trying to create some movement, but it's a little bit tricky because she doesn't have enough lateral movement, and she's very often just running towards the defense, which makes it really hard to get some space to go through. Not a great pass to the pivot, unfortunately, there, and that's going to end in a fast break by New York. As I said, New York is going to punish any team they play against for any technical mistake. So that's the thing. Anyone who wants to beat New York is going to have a near perfect game and not losing any balls. Otherwise, it's going to end up with another goal. Great goal there. Again. Nice early block. That's some great handball. As I mentioned before, I think on the right side, we're going to see every shot to the opposite upper corner, and they're just going to go for these high shots, either over the goalie or just wait for the goalie to go down. They've definitely found what works, and hopefully the goalies are going to realize that and start adapting their position on those right wing shots. But this was a great movement by New York. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. It started on one wing. As soon as a player was touched, released the ball to the player next to them, and ends with an open shot on the wing. Oh, and a great movement there. Cécile Balanche definitely going for MVP and top scorer of this game. She's been phenomenal and really keeping DC afloat so far. Oh, wow. But again, on the New York side, the team is also there to respond. With Louise Bonneau, who's like scoring another great goal, and just she's been showing how impactful her one-on-one can be. Good defense there by Sarah Mouillon. An unfortunate bounce there, but luckily the refs are calling a foul. Pivot stepping out and back in, playing with 2 pivots again. And foul was whistled before the shot. And there, oh, that's unfortunate. Hit the post. Playing with 2 pivots. And the wing stepping all the way back out to her position. As you could see the other players looking for her on the side just to make sure that they could transition all the way. New York moving the ball, but good defense there by DC. 3 players to stop the pivot. And New York just calling a play. See what happens. Suspect the wing is going to come in. Yep, here we go. Wing comes in to the back player. Oh, that is it's a great goal again by Luis Bono. Yeah, DC a little bit passive in defense and, you know, watching the ball move around them and not really taking control of that defense and making it hard for New York to pass the ball. Yeah, and this is where the coach needs to talk to Cécile Balanche, number 6 from DC, and tell her to take a breather and not try to do everything by herself. I think her team really needs to build momentum and gaps for her, and she can't do everything by herself. Oh, great interception there. And a great goal by Camille Sedano. New York not too happy with the fact that the ball bounced twice and she was still able to score, and New York calling a timeout. Not really sure why. The girls aren't too sure either. I think it's really just because the coach knows he has a timeout and he decides to use it. I think definitely DC is going to get more value from that timeout. I think what he's going to be telling the girls is that really they need to focus on simple handball and offense. Like, we're seeing it from the New York team. Whenever they play that very simple, touch and release, you grab the ball, you make the pressure, you get touch, you release, and then on and on and on. It creates these really big gaps at the end where they have the players to score and they know where to shoot. So that's been, it's been working really well for them. And I think DC can learn a bit from that. And in defense, they just need to be more aggressive and not so passive and really just go for the impact whenever someone steps into 9. I know I've been saying this a lot, but that's really going to be the element that will help them come back into the game. Yeah. And as I say this, the coach actually takes out number 6, Cécile Balanche from DC, I think, to give her a breather and to let her regroup, because you want to make sure that she is able to make the best decisions when she's on the court. All right, and New York moving the ball around, putting some speed into the ball. This is really good. The back player anticipated, and the pivot came out to help. Oh, and another difficult pass to the pivot. And DC deciding not to run the ball up. They actually take their time and build something up. So let's see what they have. Oh, that was a double dribble. Luckily the refs didn't see it. Boom. Yes. And great goal by number 75, Zuzana Kisarova. Nice temp shot. Over the defense, opposite corner. Makes it really hard for the goalie to get there. This is the fourth game for both teams, so we're starting to see, oh my God. Luis Bueno, I was going to say players seem tired, but Luis still has the fire legs. And just another one-on-one and just leaving the defender behind on her own just to look at her shoot. That was another great move. And luckily, DC gets the ball back. I think if DC managed to finish the half at minus 3, that would be really good for them, because I think it's definitely in the range of what's possible. And having been almost 8 behind, I think that would be good for morale. Oh, great pass to the pivot. An excellent goal by number 8, Martinez Telchuga. Was a cheeky little lob there. There we go, minus 3. Now really, they need to show and display strong defense. Upper corner, and no. But the defender touched her as she was about to shoot, so that will be a 7-meter shot. And number 28 really not leaving anything to chance there and just getting a strong shot. All right. Oh, great pass. A great pass to Sarah. Unfortunately not able to score. Personally, it seems like I've been calling Luis Ganitis, Luis Bono the entire time. So I will rectify this. It seems like the numbers that the players have don't match our game sheet, which is making it a bit hard for us to announce the right players. So from now on, I will be calling her Luis. And great pass there to Sem, who scores for New York as she steps on the court. 4 seconds left. Oh, that was a great shot, but goalie was there to block it. So yeah, New York up by 5 and really displaying some beautiful handball and showing that, you know, they deserve every title they've earned this year and that they're really here to compete for the national title. And I think they're just showing us that they really have what it takes to, you know, to go all the way. And we are about to get started with the second half of the semifinal between New York City and the DC Diplomats. New York City is leading by 5 goals, 16-11. Everything remains possible. And let's see what DC is going to be able to deliver in the second half to counter a very, very strong New York City club team. So starting off with 2 pivots, which worked quite a bit in the first half. Fortunately, that was a bit of a hard shot there, and really far out was not much of a block. And good defense by DC, touching the person with the ball.
Thoughts so far?
I think so far, definitely New York showing that, again, they have what it takes to win this game, and I think it's really going to be up to DC to prove me wrong in thinking that.
They sure do move quick.
They move very quick, and they understand that the ball moves quicker than anyone, and so
they're moving the ball fast too.
They move the ball fast because it's the thing that travels the fastest on the court, faster than any player.
Were we bleeding over here?
And she got hit in the throat when the other player shot. She's needing a couple.
Oh, she's okay. She's walking it off, smiling.
A couple seconds to regain her composure. But yeah, no, as I said, DC really has, I think, 2 players that have scored. So they have number 75, Susanna, and number 6,
yeah, she's
Cecile.
their big scorer so far, I think.
Yeah.
They eventually get the ball to her.
Yeah. I think that the difficult thing about that, the pivot scored. Difficult element about that is that New York has clearly understood that was the case, and they're organizing their defense accordingly. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was a great movement.
Yeah, she was had the ball and turned.
Oh, and she's getting 2 minutes for having said something to the ref. That
Who is?
number 67 from DC.
Really?
Yeah, Kirsten Wright. Well, in this case, it's a bad pun, but she was wrong. Never talk back to the refs. It's
I was hoping you wouldn't say something like that.
I think it's really bad for the team. It doesn't help anyone, and now they're going to be 1 down, which is just going to make it even harder given how well New York is moving the ball. They're just going to spread the defense, and they're probably going to get an open shot on one of the wings.
Yeah, the wing is wide open. She's
that is
through the legs.
Oh, that was a very, very high defense on the neck. But the refs letting it go, talking to one another. The reffing in this game definitely high quality. They've been able to control the game really well.
Been, pretty quick to intercede.
Yeah. Here's the good thing with pairs of refs that know each other and are mic'd up is that they can talk, and they're constantly talking to one another.
They are.
Saying what each other see.
Now. That's cool.
And because they have 2 very different perspectives on the game, it's really important to hear what the other has to say and how they're viewing a specific play. It just makes for a much more fluid type of refereeing.
I would love to tap into that audio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, straight to the face. And Sarah
fast break.
Pushing.
33. Whoa, puts it high. I think she meant to float it in.
Yeah. Seen Fangirl definitely trying to go for the cheeky lob, but unfortunately,
adrenaline might have got the best of her.
Yeah. Overestimated a little bit the height of the goal. All right, and DC still 1 player down for a couple more, probably like, these are 30 seconds or a minute. Oh, but they find a great wing shot, almost open. And Pierre-Yves, New York's coach, not too happy about that. DC doing a much better job at. Oh wow!
Hard shot.
Yeah. Yeah, Cecile Maria. Nope, that's not the one.
What number was it?
Oh, Eleanor Linder, number
5?
supposedly 11, but they're not playing with the right numbers.
Oh, that doesn't help. It is a mystery.
Yeah. Luckily, the Federation is not too uptight about that because that should disqualify them. But anyway.
She's definitely walking her way in there.
Yeah.
At what point do you decide when you're going to let them hold you and let the whistle go, or you decide I'm going to pass the ball or bounce it?
I think it really depends on the type of movement that you're going for. If you're in a shooting motion, you would rather hold until you get a chance to shoot because that's a foul on a shot, which can be a 7-meter. But if you're moving the ball around, then you definitely want to release because if you're not the one who's about to shoot and you really want to keep moving.
So forced penalty is your best bet. And how close do you have to be to the 6-meter line to get that?
It doesn't really. That's why it's more about if you're in the motion to go shoot, and that's really what you're going for, versus if you're trying to create a gap and hoping for the defense to shut on you.
What typically draws the 7? Is it contact on the arm when you're shooting?
The most oftentimes is going to be when the defender is inside the circle. Mm-hmm. When they do the foul.
Shooting.
When they do the foul. So if you do a foul inside the 6-meter line, that's automatically a 7. And then if you foul a shooter as they're about to shoot, you're basically getting a strong unfair advantage, and that's a 7-meter.
There was 2 in a row in the first half.
Yeah. And those were twice because the defense was inside the line.
New York moving the ball.
That's going to be a 2 minutes.
Huh. Yeah, they sure did. There's so much sticky stuff on the ball. It's stuck to her jersey, number 8. She's walking away. The ball stuck to her hip. Oh, we got a 7-meter here. Prediction? Oh, blocked. Wow. A few blocked 7-meter shots this game.
Nice block by Ariane. He's going to be happy about that one.
Just swarmed.
Is that
Swarmed
going
by
to be a 2-minute?
3.
Oh.
Coach not happy.
I'm not entirely sure why it's a 2-minute, but the refs are always right.
So I would love to hear what they're saying to each other.
Yeah.
Plus it makes for good entertainment.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not talking trash.
No, of course not.
Ooh. Yeah, New York stepping up the aggressivity in their defense there and really going to kind of doing what I was hoping DC would do. Whenever someone steps into the 9 meters, they just go and block them.
If DC has to keep fighting and fighting and fighting for every goal, it's going to be a long 20 minutes for them.
Oh, great D there. Great anticipation. Oh, that's 7-meter. That's a foul from behind. It's another 2 minutes.
Yeah, she had her.
She held her.
Almost a hip toss.
Yeah.
Watching judo over here.
That's the difficulty because I think the players from New York are a little bit faster and a little bit more technical.
Ooh, it's in. Off the keeper, too.
Yeah. They're able to get the advantage every time they go one-on-one. And it's forcing DC to foul them. And DC is now
off the foot. Unfortunate pass. DC getting they kind of dig their own grave with that kind of stuff. Because it seems like New York's going to score whenever they want to.
It does. It definitely seems like they are in full control of the game.
No one's stepping out to meet them from the 6. Maybe that's just their defensive plan, but the wing's wide open.
Also because they're one down, so they're one player down.
Good point.
If they start stepping out, they're going to get destroyed. But at the same time, waiting on the line is not serving them any good.
Because it hasn't worked yet.
Yeah.
Seven-point gap between the two. New York on top.
Yeah.
Just over 20 minutes in the last half. 30-minute halves here all weekend.
Yep. Which is, I think, one of the first times. It used to be 25 minutes.
That's what Brian said.
For all the games up until the semifinals. I really like the format of 30 minutes because definitely,
when it's close, it helps a lot.
But it also helps the teams that practice all year long to be in perfect physical condition. Oh, nice shot by Cecilia. She's definitely the top player in this DC team. But yeah, so it helps the teams that practice all year come here in great physical condition and are able to run for these full 60 minutes. But it definitely takes a toll on the players. I mean, five 60-minute games.
That's an extra almost an hour of play.
Right. And some teams are younger than others. Like at Cal Heat, we're definitely on the growing older side of it, or like being over 30 is being young in the team.
That is kind of getting up there. Start playing a little gentler.
Well, or like having to work a lot harder during the season to be able to run 60 minutes. Oh, nice.
Yeah, fights for it. That's one of the first goals I've seen her get, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the second one this game, and both of them were after a good fight on the pivot position.
That was number 8.
Yeah.
Remember last year, she was unstoppable.
I think she was playing with... Was she playing with DC or with Rogue last year?
I'm going to guess DC. But I got to see her play a few times. So very impressed. Keeper getting a hand on it.
Yep. I was having a chat with the keeper during halftime, and she was telling me they've DC and New York have played each other a couple times, I think 4 times this year. New York having won every single time. Mm-hmm. And she did mention that the players know that she's a little bit shorter, and
she is.
Like the players that on the starting team will absolutely always go for the upper corner shots.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. She blames her parents for it. Oh, that's going to be an offensive foul.
Whoa. Now, at what point is it on purpose? Or you just
foot?
start tripping off the foot of Gustafson. DC gets the ball back.
Oh, no. That's a waste of the ball.
There's no rule about taking advantage of another team or player's disadvantage. Oh, a little bit of a collision. Whoop.
Cheeky interception there.
Emily Bien wants to know who's who. Red is DC Diplomats. Black is New York City. And New York is in the lead. So New York has their name on front of their jersey as well, Brian.
Yeah. So does DC, but it's a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's on that patch.
It is,
in
yeah.
the small
on the
corner.
Tiny, yeah.
Is it on the front or back of the patch? I really don't see it.
On the front, it's just like
I'm kidding.
there's a little, tiny little DC Diplomats.
How many games have you played this weekend so far?
We've played 3. We're
2 today.
1 only. We're playing the semifinal against LA at 7 p.m. tonight.
Ooh, that's the last game of the day. On this court?
Yes.
That's going to be good.
It's going to be a tough one. I think.
Timeout, by the way.
Timeout called by...
I think that's going to be a good game.
It is going to be a good game. It's, playing against LA is always a little bit special because they're neighbors in California.
They're right by you guys.
Yeah. They're the longtime rivals, and they've brought a team that we haven't really played with a lot of new players. Quite a few from Brazil that look really good. So it's definitely going to be, I'd say, a very good challenge for the team. I think the second semifinal is going to be the 2 New York teams. So New York Athletic Club against New York City.
Okay, well, we won't see them both in the final, so I guess that's kind of good. Then.
Yeah.
That's what happened last year, right?
No, last year
It was you in the final.
It was, San Francisco
that's
against
right.
New York.
The semifinal was the awesome,
we beat
amazing
Nyack,
game. Yeah. And then the rematch was today.
Yep.
And you seriously crushed.
This time we didn't. So I think last year we did the same thing where we were up by 7 goals at one point, and then they stepped out and defended man on man, and we just completely lost it. We went to overtime and then to the penalty shootouts, which were, I think, very entertaining for everyone except for us on the court.
Probably nerve-wracking.
Exactly, but luckily we came out on top. But yeah, this year we managed to keep control of the game all the way until the end.
Yeah, that one was unforgettable.
Yeah, I'm expecting New York City to be in the final. Quite honestly, the level of handball I've seen them play, and I think you were here for the game they played against Chicago. I mean, I felt bad for the
it was
Chicago
right off the bat. It
folks.
was 4-0 within like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was 8-1, and they started rotating the bench off to 10 minutes.
Yep.
And back to this game.
It looked like New York was playing at 50%.
Yeah. But I think it's similar to this game where, New York is ahead by 5, but
they're probably playing 80-90%.
Yeah, it's
intensity.
They're not trying to push it hard.
You don't have to have a huge lead. You just need a lead.
Exactly. And DC hasn't shown anything threatening.
Yeah, that's the word I was going to use.
There's a good defense there. Timeout called by New York. I guess that seems like an early timeout, but let's see what Pierre has to say to his team.
Number 45 on DC, Camille Cedano, has been in the game the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, she seems tireless.
What position is that? Looks like she's equivalent of a point guard.
Yeah, she's playing center. Moving the ball around, calling the plays, trying to calm down the team whenever need be.
Shot caller.
Yeah. I think ideally she'd want to be able to take some shots or some one-on-ones from time to time, but New York has been, closing the doors every single time, so it's been really hard for her.
I was playing around with one of the game balls during that long break before this game. The sticky stuff all over my hands.
Yeah.
And I threw it a few times at the goal. I'm like, I don't play handball. So I'm like, did I throw that hard or not? I have no idea. I want to throw the ball with somebody just to gauge where I stand in this sport.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it's tricky because not all teams put the same amount of glue on the ball. So teams like New York actually just almost like dunk it into it. It's just insane the amount of glue they put on it, which makes it very hard for other teams because if you're not used to playing with that much glue,
Right.
you actually release the ball a lot later than what you anticipate to because you release it with your hand, but the glue keeps it on for a lot
you
longer.
gotta throw it low.
And so what happens is you see a lot of these teams that are going to be throwing passes into each other's feet, and generally that's because there's too much glue on the ball.
And there's some sticky spots on the court too.
Yeah.
The glue gets all over. Like I was saying earlier, number 8 had the ball stuck to her shorts without knowing it. I saw that case of it down there by the scoreboard place.
Yeah.
Is it just like not maple syrup, but tree sap or what? Is that what it looked
Originally, that's what it was. I think now it's synthetic, so that you
so
can.
from the plastic trees.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Technology is amazing.
And now the one that we have actually is supposed to be easier to wash off of the court.
Okay. Like a
So this-
solvent can do it.
Yeah, it's actually a big issue even in Europe where a lot of the lower leagues now play without glue because otherwise
Just gets
cleaning up the
everywhere,
gyms is really painful. And if you have a gym where people are playing volleyball or anything like that, you
Right.
don't want the ground to be sticky.
Even in this sport, you
Right.
slide, man, it's gonna hurt. Or it gets all over your hands, and your hand hits the deck.
Yeah.
There's a score.
Yeah, same place. Lower left corner.
Should be 21-15. There it is.
Yeah, New York still in that, +6. Oh, steps.
Big buffer with
not.
12 minutes left.
Yeah.
They could score once every 2 minutes and be okay.
Yeah.
Which would probably be low scoring for them. I guess you've been playing handball for a very long time.
Actually, not that long, but compared to some of we were counting one of our teammates has been playing for 30 years.
Wow.
The guy on the left wing who runs like crazy, he's 42 and he's been playing for 30 years.
What's his name?
Raphael Renault.
You French?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look for him. 42. He started when he was 12.
Yeah. Which is actually pretty old to start, but nice one-on-one.
Well, so is 42 to be old, still be playing.
I mean, he's in great shape.
Yeah. If you can still do it, do it.
Yeah.
I'm very involved with USA weightlifting, and we have a whole masters group. Not group, but I don't know what to call it. Masters competitions. And I think the oldest person competing right now is 89. That's for the 35 and over.
Yeah. And way over.
Way over. Double that.
I think the other semifinal at halftime was a tie, so I'm really curious to know what's happening there. Oh, and a little shove into the sideline.
Just letting them know who's calling the shots here. Looking for the schedule. Because coming up next, the open semifinal.
And I think it's Alberta against.
Whoever's standing around behind us.
Yeah, that's Alberta, and I think they're playing. Is it Miami? No.
Good question. It's a women's.
Oh, it's women's.
Yes. Unless they switched courts, I'm not sure anymore. I wasn't sure to begin with, but I am sure of the lead, 7 points. Is this the first time we're seeing number 19 on New York with the ball?
No, she's the one who scored the last two 7 meters.
Oh,
there. Oh, nice one-on-one.
Nice pick up. That had enough speed on it to get through any keeper's hands.
The poor Louise that I've been calling the other Louise the entire game.
There wasn't comments about that.
Louise Ganatis just scored. Yeah, there was a bunch of comments on that. I apologize to any New York fans out there.
DC still wants. They're still in the game. It's not like they gave up yet. It's still 8 minutes of hard playing, and I do expect DC to give it their best still.
Yep.
That's definitely what they're doing.
Unfortunately, that pass went straight out. But yeah, it does look like it's the next teams are starting to warm up. That usually when you see the other teams warming up around you, and the score is showing such a big difference, it's really hard to keep fighting. Let's see if we can do the fast break.
Oh, got a hand on it. Still gets the red.
Oh,
they
nice.
Score, capitalizing.
That was a great move. She jumped with the ball in her left hand, transferred it in the air, and shot with the right hand.
She was sideways in midair.
Right. Yeah, Susanna scoring another goal for her team.
That's really impressive.
Nice pass to the pivot. The entire team is there, and her own teammate is stealing the ball away from her.
Yes. She's not allowed to have the ball. But they gave it back to her.
They're old friends.
Do you think they all live in New York and they all get to practice?
Most likely.
How do most of these teams work?
Well, so it really depends. Like, there are some clubs that have, that was a great pass.
Goal for New York.
That have more of the, I guess, like standard kind of club schedule. I think New York is definitely one of them where they have, I believe, 3 men's team this year, 1 women's team. And yeah, they practice all year long. They come to a lot of tournaments. We were really happy to have both the men and the women's team come to the tournament in California, which we know is, quite a bit of a long flight for them. So we're definitely happy to have them there.
Timeout
in 2 minutes.
Okay, we're stopping the clock. Little aggressive from number 13.
Yeah, and a little bit late.
Twice in a row. Have him right in front of us too.
Yeah. So on the East Coast, the girls play a lot against one another, and so do the men. As on the West Coast, we operate a lot through tournaments where all the teams fly into a city and play one another.
Now what's it take to get on a team like yours or New York's or DC's?
Well, most of the time it's like, first off, living in that area, and then showing up to practice, and then most of these bigger clubs will have multiple teams. Like, we actually have 2 men's team, 2 women's team. We almost had a 3rd men's team but decided not to, and to have more complete rosters on both the first and the second. And yeah, and then it's pretty fluid where we're gonna have people play for the first team in one tournament, the second team in another, or vice versa. I know, like the coach of New York, Pierre-Yves, I think the first time I saw him a couple years ago, I think he was playing for New York 3, then the following year for New York 2, and this year he's actually playing with the top team of New York.
Are there tryouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, nice shot again.
Another goal. Keeping it at 6.
Yeah, 6 was 4 minutes to go. This is a time where, and they're one player up on the court. It's a semifinal. Like, ultimately, there's nothing to lose. In these cases, I would almost recommend, like going man on man or woman on woman.
Player
defense.
on player.
Yeah. Because they're getting eaten alive on this set defense, even with one player down, because each of the New York players can really attack one-on-one. And that would, typically is something that's going to force a lot of mistakes from the attacking team.
I would love to see DC hit 20 goals before time's up.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive to do against a team like this.
And now they're full. New York is full. Oh, and that was a foot. Yeah, unfortunately.
Rips a shot. Kick save. Ball got a little close to us. Felt my heartbeat.
Yeah. Another nice save by Ariane. A lot of French players in both teams. Oh. Yeah.
You're going to hate to hear this, but last year was the first time I ever saw handball, heard a handball, knew what handball was. I didn't know anything. I came here to do the live stream, and I did some YouTube research, but I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I just never seen it before. And then whenever I tell family I'm going to go watch handball, like, that's a team sport? Because they played the handball where you slapped the ball.
Yeah.
You ever played in gym class? I don't think he did, but
yeah, at our gym we have a poster that says handball, team handball. It's not against the wall.
we called that wall ball where I came from.
But yeah, no, it's a fun sport.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more people into it now that I know more about it. It's a mix of, like, it's got roller derby physicality. The passing is on par with hockey, the way they move the ball around. And it's about as rough. No boards to be checked into, but I think the goal could be a little smaller. That's my opinion, though.
Well, there's some goalies where if the goal was smaller, it would be almost impossible to score.
Nah. Okay. I don't mean much smaller, maybe like 6 inches on each side.
Yeah.
Or 5.
But like a big part of when you look at on like some of the next games, when you look at the back players shoot, nice goal again by Cecile. What they do a lot is they wait for because the goal is a little bit bigger, they wait for the goalie to commit to one side before shooting.
Right.
Like the fact that the goalie has to take one step to a side is really what helps these back players score, because they can get the goalie to commit.
Well, DC hit that magic number 20, and the time is up.
Yeah, and it's over.
New York cheers.
New York is heading to the final. undefeated, only having tied Chicago, and didn't really seem to have too much trouble beating DC in this first semifinal. And it looks like it is going to be Alberta against Miami up next.
First time I'm seeing Miami.
Yeah, I've heard they have a pretty good team. They have a couple folks that are Cuban that have played back home. So this is definitely going to be an interesting team between Alberta, which is a team that practices a lot.
They got some size on them too.
Yeah, but I mean they're mainly kids, right? If I remember correctly, this is the junior selection of Alberta.
Now watching them this morning, they ran so fast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they are like bees.
We played them back in Montreal, and it was physical. It was a lot of running. They never tire.
No.
And they're young, so they don't know any better. Like, it's not like they have to worry about being tired for work on Monday. And the Miami team is a bit of I think they're newcomers to the tournament. We're really excited to have a new team. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn us off, turn the music up.